had a horrible fight. I admit that I was out of control, but I still love my man with my body and soul. When the road gets rough, you say things you should not say. But I never meant to treat my baby that way. I apologize. Believe me. Oh, believe me, I do. I apologize. Honest and true. Because I know I was wrong. And so I sing you this song that I'm trying to get through and make it up to you. Yes, operator, it was like a bad dream. The Lord, you should have heard the way he shouted and the way I screamed. I regret it, 'cause I was unfair. I took it all out on him, just because he was there. When the road gets rough, you say things you should not say. I never meant to treat my daddy that way. I apologize. Believe me. Oh, believe me, I do. I apologize. Honest and true. Because I knew I was wrong. So I sing you this song, and I'm gonna get through you and make it up to you. I apologize for I was unkind, and I wish that I could roll back in time, erase the goodbye, and rewrite my life. But come around.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of A Queen's Eye View. 4 women, 4 views, and 4 opinions on one show. We all have 2 eyes, but we see things differently. But we always respect each other's opinions, and most times we leave with an additional perspective. I'm Shay, and alongside me tonight, we have Heidi, Dawn, and Alicia Coleman. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in again this week. And each week we ask if you would reach out to your friends and family via their social networking sites and asking them to tune in and check us out. Our new site is www.myjbn.com/V108/talk.html. It's a little long, so I'm going to repeat it. It's www.my.jbn.com/V108/talk.html. And we'll be repeating that throughout the show. And we also ask you guys to join our Facebook group. Join A Queen's Eye View, like us on A Queen's Eye View, and also Jericho Broadcast Network. We ask, please, if you would, feel free to leave your honest opinions of our shows and also future topics for future shows. And if you'd like to be a guest, let us know. Well, we're about ready to get started with tonight's show, and it's going to be an awesome show. We're talking about breast cancer awareness, and we're talking about the power of forgiveness. But before we get started, we always check in with our queens. So we're going to start with Dawn Michelle tonight. Hey, Dawn. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi, Dawn.
I'm good. My birthday is Saturday, so I'm excited.
Oh, party time.
I am getting ready to start my birthday celebration tomorrow, and so it should be fun. Glad and blessed to be here another year and get health and strength, so it should be fun. Good. Any plans? Anything exciting? Going out of town? Anything really exciting because I actually have to work on my birthday. I have a gig Friday night and Saturday night, so I'm actually singing on my birthday. But that's not a bad thing because that means I'm making money. So
Absolutely.
I'll take it, and I'm going to use that money to go on a hot air balloon ride with one of my big girlfriends. So that's going to be my birthday gift to myself. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've never done that before, and it's something I've always wanted to do, so I'm going to treat myself to a hot air balloon ride.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Wow.
Are you gonna have a drink before you go up or when you come down? I said, you're gonna have a drink before you go up or when you come back down?
I'm kind of a little bit of a daredevil, Shay, so I don't need a drink. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be good. I mean, I'll probably have one when I come back down because probably me and my girlfriend will go have dinner or something, but I don't need it to calm my nerves. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, okay. Well, all right for you because I wouldn't be that girl for you to invite in that balloon.
No, I understand because it took me a while to find a friend who would actually go with me and do it with me. So all my friends I was asking was like, no, I'm good. I ain't doing that. What are you doing? What? Huh? So I actually found another friend who is willing to do it with me. So I'm excited. Otherwise, I guess I thought I was going to be doing it by myself.
You still might because it's not Saturday yet. All right. Alicia Coleman.
Yes.
How are you?
I am great. My week has been awesome. I actually started my own show this month. Well, last month, at the end of last month. So I'm excited, looking for new guests. I'm excited about being on Queen's Eye View with my other queens to discuss the forgiveness. We're discussing forgiveness. And I can't wait until next week's show with the eligible bachelor. A man in the
sun. Why don't you side-eye him here?
Well, he's eligible, and I'm single, so hey. but
don't go scaring him before you get on.
If he's scared, then he doesn't want a woman. We are in Atlanta, so you gotta be careful. But no, honestly, I've had an awesome week. I've been running a little bit, very busy. But it's been good. So I'm excited. My son and I talked about relationship issues, which was exciting. And he's only 13 and already has a view of marriage. So that was interesting. Yeah.
You gotta train him early.
Well, my son, he believes that a man should sit on the sofa and watch TV while his wife brings him something to drink and she cooks and cleans. But she doesn't have to go out the house and work. He does all the work, gives her all the money, buys her cars and everything else she needs. So he's kind of old-fashioned, and I don't know if modern women can take him. But hey,
he's still young. He's got some time.
Yeah, well,
he's got some time. Heidi, what's going on with you today?
It is hot day, girls. It's a good day. It's a good week. And I'm excited. I got a lot going on at work. It's been busy. I'm getting closer to my conference that I will be hosting Antoine Fisher on November 19th. Everything is falling into place. We probably have about 150 registrants out of 300 so far, and I'm just, doing my thing in the nonprofit world. I see there's been a lot going on since I seen my queen, so I'm excited about the show and the topics we have to talk about.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's good to be back. It seems like it's been a while. Well, it has been a couple of weeks, but we're back and we're ready to get started. And I like Dawn. Dawn, you're a Libra?
I am. Go Libras.
Go Libra. I had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. Actually, 2 weeks today. I celebrated my birthday. Yes,
well, happy belated. Happy belated.
Thank you.
Yes, happy belated. But I saw her in a picture on Facebook, and she was looking awesome in her red.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That was a wedding I went to, actually, right before my birthday, and I thank you for that compliment. I had a really good time at that wedding. That was a lot of fun. I kind of crashed that wedding. I wasn't invited, and it was a friend. Well, it was a friend that I went to high school with that lives here, And I found out that she was getting married because we're Facebook friends, and a friend of mine was going to be the DJ at the wedding. And he and I have been friends since second grade. So he came in town and he said, hey, why don't you help me out with the wedding? You like to talk. You can come and do some introductions and talk to the people. And I was like, yeah, I want to go because I wasn't invited. So I did go with him under the guise that I was the DJ assistant. That's how I got into the wedding. Well, as the wedding progressed, I became the MC, announcing the bride, the groom, the family, the parents, getting people up to dance. And she looked over and was like, oh, my God, is that Shawana? I was like, okay, I got to tell a story. I was not invited. I crashed the wedding. And they thought I was kidding. And she was like, no, she's serious. I didn't invite her.
Well, it sounds like it came out to be a lot of fun, and you did some work. Did you get a check? Did you get a check? That's what I want to know.
I got an IOU.
Oh God.
Because MCs, I don't know where y'all come from, but where I come from, MCs get paid.
Absolutely.
That might have to be another business I look into, because I guess since I crashed it, since I wasn't hired, it kind of was like I volunteered. But I did have a ball, and it was beautiful, and I just, really, really had a good time. And this
what did you
weekend,
do for your birthday?
I went to Jamaica.
Oh, nice.
Friday then.
Okay.
Really nice.
Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was very nice. I'm playing it. It was nice. It was nice.
So which part did you go to? Did you go to Oka Rio?
No,
did you go to the grill?
Negril.
Yes, I've heard Negril is beautiful. Yes.
It is. It is.
It's nice. It was a lot of fun, actually. The food was good. We pretty much stayed on the resort. I'm a person, I have a hard time with vacations more than, 2 to 3 days. So after a few days, I'm usually ready to go home, but I did have a good time. I was able to stay longer than 3 days this time. So it was nice. I was appreciative. It was a birthday gift. I really do appreciate it. I had a good time.
Okay. That's all that matters.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, any ladies, if you guys are planning trips, y'all need to make sure y'all talk to me, because I have just become a certified travel agent.
All right. That's
right.
Yes, with Paycation, So if you guys are going anywhere and need any, I can plan your vacation. I can get you hotels. I can do whatever you need me to do. So make sure you let me know.
All right. How about pay for them? Do we have to pay for them too? Since you can do everything, can you do that part?
Yeah.
Wait a minute now.
You gonna give me a hookup?
You still got to pay for the trip now. You can't get the trip for free. I can get you
serious hookup though.
I can get you better deals for nicer accommodations. That's what I can do.
Well, we get better deals than your other people, because we're buddy. We know you.
And we're your hotel sisters.
Yes.
Oh. And I always want to hook up, Dawn. You see what I mean? I always want to hook up.
Yeah, what? Black people are the known people for a hookup.
Yeah, so and it drives me nuts.
Yes, it does. But we had to do that. We had to say it, though. You know that.
Gotcha.
Well, Dawn, you give us that information again, and you tell us about that travel agent. We can make sure that when we plan our next trip, we contact.
I will give you my website. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we're going to use you and take a trip. If this Powerball number comes out, we're all going on a trip.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, like I said, this evening, we're talking about breast cancer, because as we all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And breast cancer is important every month, of course, but October being especially, since it is the month that pink is the color. And I know you ladies have noticed pink is everywhere. Even on Kroger's bottles of water now, the packaging for this month is pink. Have you noticed that?
Yes, and the bread as well. My son asked, why is the bread pink?
Right.
They're also the bread is pink as well. The packaging on the bread is pink as well to celebrate or to give us a reminder that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Ladies, have you had your yearly mammogram? So far this year?
And I'm way overdue. This is Heidi, way overdue. I got to make an appointment.
Okay, we're going to hold you to that, Heidi, and we're going to be texting you daily to make sure that you make that appointment.
This is Dawn, and I actually just had to go to the lady doctor to make sure, all the lady parts are functioning as normal. And I was told that because at 35 now they're doing a pre-mammogram screening kind of thing. And at first, when they talked to me about it, ladies, I was just like, no, I'm good, because breast cancer doesn't really run in my family like that. There's no one in my family who has ever died of cancer, or even now I do have some family members who've had cancer, but they're now in remission and they're doing fine. And neither one of them, it wasn't breast cancer. So I was just like, I don't really think it's that serious, not that big of a deal. I don't need to worry about it. And then I started thinking about it because I do have a close friend who lost her mom to breast cancer. And I was like, you know what, even though it doesn't run in my family, it's still important. It's something that they say that we should do. So I actually have my appointment next week for my first pre-mammogram screening. I'm a little nervous, I will admit. But I'm going to do it because I know I need to do it. So
awesome. And don't be nervous. Just do as you always do. Trust God and just go in there because you know what? Awareness is the key.
Yep.
That saves so many, many lives. And I commend you for thinking about that again and having a second thought and saying, you know what? I better go because let me tell you, women younger and younger are developing breast cancer.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that must be why they're starting this whole pre-thing at 35 or whatever, because of that probably. Ladies, does anybody know, now I may sound a little ignorant when I ask this question, but is there a prostate cancer month?
There actually is not. This is Heidi, and I'm so glad you brought that up, Dawn, because I've talked to a couple of brothers, and their position is I'm just giving y'all know I always give you a twist. It's always breast cancer.
Right.
Prostate cancer is the number one killer of African American men, males. And we don't have a campaign for them.
And actually, we don't have like a campaign month, but we do have, there's actually prostate cancer walks, and prostate cancer awareness. There's another guy that I'm on the radio with sometimes, Larry Love, and he is adamant about putting the word out. And actually, he introduced me to Martin. I can't pronounce his last name, but it's Martin J. And he actually has a prostate cancer walk, and they had the second annual walk this year. But no one really knows about it. So, because it's always downplayed for me, and like you said, and he has a not a breast, but a prostate cancer awareness too, that he does, and he has a nonprofit organization for males here in Cobb County, and he's been pushing it. Actually, he said because Mayor Kasim Reed asked him to bring it to Atlanta, but because I didn't really hear anything about it, I'm not sure if it really went, anything was actually done about it. So,
I'll say this, if I can interject, that I would challenge those men to get the word out, because how breast cancer became so popular as far as the awareness is because women, we talk about it. We address it. We band together. We want to put it out there. We want to let our sisters know, hey, get checked, do this, do that. So I would definitely encourage the men out there, because it is equally important for the awareness that they just have to get the word out. It's up to them to get out there and get moving and make people aware.
And I didn't mean to get off subject, guys, but the reason I thought about it. Yeah, but the reason I thought about it is because, we all know that men can get breast cancer as well, but I wonder what could be done to get a prostate cancer awareness month, because the reason I say that, guys, is because, I mean, honestly, I don't like to make generalizations. However, for the most part, women are a lot more proactive about going to the doctor for their for their yearly checkups and making sure that we're healthy, and we will go to the doctor a lot quicker than men. Men seem to think that they're all supermen, and they don't need to go to the doctor unless their arm is really literally about to fall off. I mean, they have to be in really, really bad shape to go to the doctor. They don't do as good of a job of yearly checkups and making sure this is okay, even if nothing is wrong. Like I said, they have to doggone be near, like I said, their arm is about to fall off before they go to the doctor. And I don't understand why men are so stubborn about going to the doctor. And so it seems as if a lot of men who, when they get prostate cancer, once they find out, it's already in stage 4 because they ignored their body or hadn't been to the doctor in up to 10 years. And it's just so frustrating to me. I wish men would do a better job of staying on top of their health.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is Heidi, and I just wanted to make this point. There's also another issue. Yes, women get out there and we talk about it, but Susan G. Komen has pumped millions and millions of dollars into this campaign for women. And there is no foundation for prostate cancer. Not a full one, not one that's out front, and not one that everybody knows about. I noticed that when I was watching the NFL games this weekend, all the NFL stuff was pink for breast cancer, but their number one killer of a lot of their guys is prostate when they're coming out of the league, and that's a fact. Mm-hmm. So somebody needs to set up a foundation that can generate the type of publicity. You just can't say, well, men need to spread the word. There's something that pushes the breast cancer movement, and Susan G. Komen has been doing that for a long time. I'm talking about her foundation. So there has to be a duty in place to do that.
Right,
ladies,
I agree.
But there is a prostate cancer. Actually, Larry Love just so apparently he's listening.
I said, well known.
First of all, there is a prostate cancer awareness month, but it's in Canada. Okay, and it's 20 years of prostate cancer. Larry Love just sent me a text saying there is an event for prostate cancer on November the 22nd. And it's Martin John Case. Yes. He sent me the guy's name too, yeah.
You know, I get what you're saying, Heidi, as far as Susan G. Komen and what she's done. But my point is, and my contention is this, that, yes, there needs to be a foundation. There needs to be money. But in order to get that money, somebody has to be the foundation layer. Somebody has to be the one to start that and go out and seek that.
Absolutely.
You know, unless, unfortunately, unless somebody with a very well-known person gets it, then, of course, they get right on it, you know, and they throw money into it. But I do believe, like you said, Susan G. Komen, of course, everything you see, a lot of things, not everything, but a lot of things that you see, it does have her name on it, and it does have that backing. But what happens is, like you said, it's a movement, and once it starts with one, you know, it takes another to join it. And I'm just saying with the men, and to Dawn's point, men shy away from the doctor, the dentist, anything that requires them to see someone else to tell them something may be wrong, you know.
Right.
And I just say that if, you know, for a man, that their health is important, as we all know, but they have to take some of that ownership to get out there and get the word. And we as women have to help them and build that, because if we don't build it, we won't have any men.
And that's the one thing I was going to say, because, like, now we know. We had a man come in and let us know. And now I'm saying as a female that we have to be proactive with men in teaching them how to check for their prostate. Most men don't know how to do a self-exam. As women, if you're married, examine your husband. You know, you may know how he feels, because depending on the time that you've been married, you can check and see if there's something different going on in his testicles, to test him to see what's going on. So we all need to be proactive. It's not, well, men need to do this or women need to do that. We
Absolutely.
People need to be proactive and not reactive to what is going on. Now that we've expressed this concern, how many of us are going to actually go for it and see how far we can go into doing something? Because we'll talk about it, but no one walks that talk.
Well, and I'm sorry, Ted, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. No, go.
I just wanted to say, and this is my last point to this, the reason I brought that up, this has been a constant conversation that I've been having amongst some board members recently with nonprofits for here in Atlanta, since we're the Hollywood of the South, and a lot of things get started here, and Susan G. Coleman's foundation is here, centralized here. You know what I mean? So just like the situation popped off with the ALS campaign, bucket campaign, that something needs to spark it like that for the prostate. I absolutely believe men need to take up the mantle, but we all know that the mantle takes money. So as many as our brothers and communities, they can discuss it and have these forums, because I've been to several prostate cancer forums in town, but it doesn't get the publicity, and there's no big-time backers behind it, and that's the issue. So I was just bringing that to everybody's, so they would know that we do need some people with some tools to, step up.
Yeah, and it's not just the money, but until we get the money, we can go out and say, hey, we're going to do a rally for breast cancer. For prostate cancer. Just like they did on Facebook for ALS. Let's do a challenge for prostate. Men getting their prostate checked. Married couples learning how to test themselves. Husbands learn how to test their wives. Wives learn how to check their husbands. And be proactive about it, because that doesn't take money. So we won't
Absolutely.
Because Heidi is right about needing backers and money. But until we get there, let's not wait for the money, but let's go ahead and be proactive and let's start making people aware now of this issue with prostate. With prostate.
I agree, Alicia.
Like I said, there is a prostate cancer event November the 22nd. Martin Jongue is JONQUE, and you can Google him and get more information. That's all information I have right now. I'm trying to do that, and I was looking for prostate cancer stuff too as well. Even though we're talking about breast cancer, we can't leave out our men, because we all need each other in order to make the world go.
Well said. Touche. Agreed. Okay, well, ladies, we're getting ready to take a break.
Ladies. Yeah.
But before we do go to break, we're going to come back and we're going to be talking further about breast cancer and awareness, and also how to forgive, who to forgive, when to forgive, and why to forgive. So stay with us. The ladies of A Queen's Eye View will be back in just a few moments.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Carrot Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24-karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
Oh, this has been a day I want to forget. From not finding my keys, to running late for my big meeting, then having the client cancel the meeting, to my boss wanting to revamp the entire proposal this weekend. This is really a day for a hot tub and a big glass of my tranquility wine.
The skilled winemakers of Countryside Vineyards craft quality muscadine grapes into fine wine. Known for their distinctive flavors and characters, these hybrid southern grapes create a sweet class of robust wine. So the next time you're out, ask for Tranquility Wines or order yours online today by visiting them at floridavineyard.com.
Now this is just what I needed. Tranquility Wine. Why can't everything be this relaxing?
Tranquility Wines, for those times when nothing else matters. Please enjoy responsibly, and remember, you must be 21 years old to drink.
Stokes & Matthews Media is a boutique media company that specializes in vision coaching, publishing, and marketing for authors, experts, and small business owners. It is the mission of Nadia Matthews and Nicole Stokes to show aspiring writers and seasoned authors how to build lucrative brands using their books as the foundation. Before the company's official launch in September 2014, Stokes & Matthews Media will be offering free online workshops and interviews with industry experts, ebooks, and discounted first-time consultations for individuals who desire to get on the company's 2014-2015 roster. Stokes & Matthews Media is also scouting experienced individuals in the literary publishing, PR, marketing, promotions, and event planning industries to join the team on a freelance and or internship basis. If you would like to learn more about Stokes & Matthews Media or learn how you can advertise with us, please send a detailed email to
Right?
Okay.
Who's Dawn or Michelle? Yeah, we'll come back with that.
Okay.
Hi, and welcome back to A Queen's Eye View. Well, when we went to break, we had some more conversation about the prostate and the exam and checking it out. So, Dawn, would you go ahead and make that comment so we can discuss this with our listeners? Because I'm sure it's going to be definitely something they'd like to hear, and hopefully it may be able to help them. But
yes,
go ahead with what you made.
I hope that there are some men listening, and if there aren't men listening, if you have a man who is special in your life, ladies, your dad, your grandfather, your uncle, your husband, your boyfriend, your fiance, please, ladies, I think the main reason that a lot of men do not want to go to the doctor to get the exam for the prostate is because I asked the question, how do you examine the prostate? And the answer is they have to stick something in the anus to examine the prostate. And that is very uncomfortable for men. We get it. But men realize that us as women, we have to do some uncomfortable things too. And just because it's uncomfortable and you don't want to have someone, I understand you don't want something going up in your dum-dum. I understand that. But it's important and it's necessary and you need to do it. And Alicia also mentioned that there is actually another way that she heard from Dr. Oz that you can actually check for the prostate other than when the doctor does it. Alicia, can you kind of give us a little bit of information about that other way that you can do it at home?
I am so sorry. That's for testicular cancer. I had to look it up because I heard it on Dr. I was looking at Dr. Oz, and I called Larry Love. That's what I did, and I found out somebody who knows and give me the right information. The issue or the symptoms are for men is frequent urination, lower back. Is it pain? Lower back pain?
I don't know.
And your upper thighs can be pain. You can have pain in your upper thighs, frequent urination, pain in your lower back, and pain in your thighs.
And those are symptoms of prostate cancer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the
so
other
that
prostate cancer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was different. Okay. So men. So forget about. Okay. So we don't have a home remedy for checking the prostate. Go to the doctor. Please.
Yeah, I thought Alicia had one because at first on break, guys, she was talking about what you can check by checking the scrotum and doing this and doing that. And I was going to say that might lead to something else other than an exam, but you know. Now that we know that's for testicular cancer, that's still important.
I can also say, since some men may not like, they think you can only check it from the anal. You can also check the blood. It's also blood is drawn to check. So if men have an issue with that, because I've heard of the stories of the glove, the doctor with the glove, but you can also find out through your blood. Because yes.
I'm sorry. I was reading earlier, and by the account of the American Cancer Society, just this far in 2014, there has been 232,570 new cases of invasive breast cancer. Just so far this year.
Wow.
And of that, there's over 62,000 cases that are carcinoma, which is the earliest form of breast cancer. So that's when you detect it in like stage 1. Invasive is when you get to like that stage 4. And with that, there's 40,000 deaths per year.
Wow.
And when you hear those numbers, that's astounding.
Yeah.
That's astounding. So almost 250,000 new cases so far this year. And
wow.
of that, only 62,000 is like a stage 1. So the rest of that is invasive, which is the higher stages, which are the chances of, that they did not catch it in time, which is why it's so important, ladies and gentlemen, to encourage your ladies to do those self-examinations. They tell you to do it every month. At the same time every month, do it in the shower, do it when you're laying down, and they have plenty of things to show you how to do that. But it is so important that you do those breast exams.
I wonder, ladies, if insurance has anything to do with it, because I really don't want there to be a reason for why a man would not go to the doctor or a woman would not go to the doctor to get the exams. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping that Obamacare will have helped with, maybe people who are uninsured and maybe can't afford to go to the doctor. Is that maybe one of the reasons why people don't go?
I would say some of it, but some of it is what you said earlier, Dawn Michelle, about you don't think you need it. You didn't think it would affect you. You didn't have it in your family. So I think that some people have that same type of thought pattern. Oh, not me. It won't affect me. I'm young. They have that same type of thought, and they kind of ignore it, and not because they think they're not, we're exempt from trials and tribulations, because we know we're not. But that's just not one that shows up on their radar. Because I was actually watching Good Morning America, and the co-host there, I can't think of her name, but she's alongside Robin Roberts. Last year, she just did the mammogram that came in the van, just did it just to do it at the encouragement of Robin Roberts. And she said she didn't think she was going to have anything come back. She just did it for the show. She allowed the show to follow her in there to show women not to be afraid of getting a mammogram. Well, that saved her life, because she found out from that exam that she had breast cancer. And she said if Robin hadn't encouraged her to do that, she would not have found out, not at that time. Because she wasn't one of the cases. She wasn't at that 45-year, at that age of 45. She didn't have history. But because Robin had suffered with that, We have a caller, I believe. I'm sorry.
Hello?
Is there a caller? Hi, caller. Go ahead. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Hi, welcome to Queen's Eye View.
Who are we speaking with?
You're speaking with Larry Love, prostate cancer survivor.
Well, all right.
Oh, nice. Thank you for calling, Larry. Please tell us your story.
I mean, it's just simple. Just listen to you guys as well as I listen to other blog talk shows and want to make sure information is right, especially when it comes to prostate cancer. The way you find out that you have prostate cancer is through symptoms. Some men have symptoms, some men don't. Some of the symptoms are lower back pain, hip pain, upper thigh pain, could be left or right thigh. When the doctor goes in the anal, it's to find out if you have an enlarged prostate. And then if you have an enlarged prostate, then they'll let you know if they need to do some more tests. But if you do a blood test, what's called PSA, the PSA will tell you basically what your number is. If your PSA is lower than 3, you're pretty good. But if your PSA constantly goes up, your blood test constantly goes up every time they check your blood, then what the doctor's going to tell you is you have an issue. So my PSA went from 3 to 8.8. That's pretty high for a prostate blood test. So it was three things. It was three things that's going to happen. They're gonna put you in a MR. They're gonna put you in that machine, have you drink that stuff. Y'all know what it is, and they're gonna look at your entire body and see if they can find something. Well, they couldn't find anything. So the next thing they did, they had to stick a rod up my penis to go into my bladder. They couldn't find anything. So they said, Mr. Gibson, we're gonna have to do a colonoscopy, and when we do the colonoscopy, we're gonna pull 12 cultures off your prostate. And out of the 12 cultures, when we do this procedure, it's going to tell us three things. It's going to tell us that you have cancer. It's going to tell us that you have an infection. It's going to tell us that you have an enlarged prostate. Well, after the 12 cultures were scraped off the prostate, one of my cultures came back out of 12 with a little bit of cancer in it. So the way you're going to find out if you got cancer truly is through your blood test and a colonoscopy.
Okay.
Thank you for that information. Wow.
Thank you so much. Yes. And we are so, congratulations on being a survivor.
Absolutely.
How long have you been a survivor for, Larry?
Wow. I found out that I had prostate cancer last December 18th. I had surgery February 20th of this year. And as of a month ago, I did a blood test, and it was undetectable.
Okay. To God be the glory.
Yes.
Well, you have to remember, I don't have a prostate. I took my prostate out.
Oh, that's interesting. This is Heidi. That brings me to a subject. You know, earlier this year when Angela Jolie decided that she was going to cut both her breasts off because she had a higher probability after some tests of learning that she would develop breast cancer. I had mixed emotions when she did it, but I'm wondering, because she has the money she has and she probably was able to spend enough to have some of the best testing and doctors, I'm wondering if more people are going to move to that as a solution versus, the traditional methods. Any thoughts, ladies?
Well, I did hear that there is a test that they can do to see if you have the gene or the chromosome or something that makes you breast cancer detective. And actually, my girlfriend that I told you, her mom died of breast cancer. She actually just had that test done recently to see if she had the gene or the chromosome since her mother passed, of breast cancer. She's very on top of it, and she's only maybe a couple years older than me, so she's not even 40 yet. But she's making sure she stays on top of it. But, yeah, I don't know a lot of the information, but I do know that there is a test that you can take that will tell you if you have the gene or the chromosome. Like, I could have gotten the same thing done actually for my diabetes. Of course, I didn't know that. But there is a gene or a chromosome that will tell you, whether or not you are more apt to have diabetes or not or whatever. I mean, it's probably the same thing for a lot of other illnesses as well. But, yeah, I don't know how much, I would think that if my girlfriend was able to get that test for the gene or the chromosome or whatever to check if she had it, that anybody should be able to.
You can. That's accurate information, Michelle, because my sister is actually a cancer survivor, and I have several first cousins who have had breast cancer. Some have lost their battle to it. Thank God my sister has not. Actually, she's a 2-time survivor. And when she was diagnosed, she had her surgery. It was actually September 11th, 2001, when 9/11 happened, because I went to go visit her, and I was stuck in New York for an extra week. And there is a test that you can take. And because cancer is such a horrible and rampant disease in my immediate family, I have a mammogram normally every 6 months. And mine comes back regularly abnormal. I have had biopsies done. I've had lumps removed. And because of the history in my family, I have to stay on top of those things with the exam. So if anything changes, I have to go in. And my insurance does pay for it because I had to, there's a word for it. I can't think of what it is now. But because I have the high probability of possibly developing it, they approve it. But normally you're not approved for 2 mammograms or 3 mammograms in a year. You know, and there's a diagnostic mammogram, you know, and there's your standard mammogram. But there is a test that you can take, and my sister suggested that I take that test because of the probability of developing that.
Yeah, the high risk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, Larry, are you still on the line?
Yes, I am.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you from all of us ladies here at the Queen's Eye View. Thank you for calling in and telling us your story. We really appreciate you calling in.
Not a problem.
All right.
Before you leave, you said something about the event in November. Hello? Did I lose you already? Hello?
Okay, well, maybe he'll call back in. But we're going to go ahead and give the number out for those that are listening and ask that you guys call in. It's 678-701-3738. That's 678-701-3738. And also, Larry, call back in and give us that information on an event when you get a moment. We'd like you to call back in and give us that information. And also, everyone, go to our Facebook page, and you can click on that link and join our conversation tonight via the internet. Okay? All right. Is he back? Do we have a caller? I heard something. Okay. But if so, we'll stop and we'll go right back into it. But what we were talking about also, where were we earlier? Were we in the, we're talking about the breast cancer and the, one of y'all help me now because I was caught up in that, that part of it. But anywho, again, make sure, ladies, that you get your checks, your yearly checks, that you do the self-examinations because it is so important. You know, this month we're seeing so many walks that are taking place in various cities. You know, the breast cancer walk, the 3-day walk here, the 3-day walk there. It is so important, and not just when October is over, but each and every month it is important to do this. You know, and do you ladies have anybody that you know of that has had breast cancer other than Dawn? I know she mentioned someone, but Heidi or Alicia?
Yes, I actually have a very good friend who is a survivor of breast cancer. She did get it up in age. She's closer to 50, so she's been battling. She started battling it 2 years ago. Right now, they're saying she's cancer-free, but she still has to go back for treatment and so forth and checkups. But she herself, I will say that she had extremely large breasts, like triple D breast. And she said the only reason why she realized, because she did checks all the time, but she said it was very difficult to feel because of how much tissue she had. Feel anything? The only reason why she knew something was wrong is because she started to have headaches. And she had passed out 1 or 2 times. And when she went to the doctor, they didn't initially think cancer, but they did a check, and she was in stage 2. So, you know, it's just interesting. But she was saying she'd been doing breast checks for years, but she felt like it wasn't really successful because she had such large breasts. As a result of the cancer, of course, now she's had to have reconstructive surgery, and she's been reduced by about 1.5 cups. So I don't know if there's a difference between women who have, I'm just putting this out there, ladies, if there's a difference between people who have really, really large breasts versus people who have really, really small breasts. I don't know if that's a factor at all. And if any of y'all have information, I'd love to hear.
Well, I would think, even though, I mean, I'm no expert at all, Heidi, but I would think that it probably does. I would think that, like your friend said, it was harder for her to tell because she has so much tissue. I would think that if you have smaller breasts, that it would be easier to feel a bump or something abnormal.
Well, you ladies are both correct. It's harder on both ends Because if you have really large breasts, because of the massive tissue, it is sometimes hard to get an accurate read, which is why they've just come out with a new test for women. Because if you've ever done a mammogram, and when they do that compression, and sometimes they do it a couple of times and they redo it, and it's because they sometimes see certain lumps, and they look at colors, and they look at the size of it, and sometimes it may just be fatty tissue, and other times it's not. Now, when you have large breasts or fatty breasts, so they don't have to even be large, but just like a lot of fat, or if you've had some type of surgery, or sometimes you can have cystic breasts where you just have nodules in them, you know?
Okay.
But that is, and if you have small breasts sometimes, it's even harder because if they're really small, you can't get a mammogram the regular way, as far as, having them smashed in a little thing, as we call it, the cup. You have to get it another way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah,
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Right. So it's more of a scan than a actual compression, because sometimes women, are very, very flat chested. And that's why you have to be diligent in doing those self-exams. So that way, if you do feel something, abnormal, that's why they tell you to check at home once a month during your cycle, or right prior to your cycle, to check. Because you're going to know if something's different if you're comparing each month, each time.
And your body, and you know your body better than anyone else. So
correct.
If you're doing it on a regular basis, and it's something different, or I think it's because you'll have leakage. Some people have had leakage coming out. But I know two people who are survivors. One lady, she is extremely large. She is a big chested woman, and she was just treated, and she's a thriver. A lady was telling me it's not about being a survivor, it's about being a thriver. So she is thriving through what she had gone through with breast cancer and the treatment. And I have my aunt. She was she had her breast removed. So different women do choose different things. And I don't think I can't remember how large her chest was, but she did have the cancer removed from her breast. So everyone decides. And I actually have a childhood friend who just went through it. And so that's in her 40s. So, I mean, my aunt was in her 50s, and the other lady that I'm talking about that I actually was a church member with, she's in her 50s. But, it can it can, like you said, any age. You can be in your 30s, you can be in your 20s. And as well as men have to do breast exams as well, the same as women do. Because we're saying men, we don't talk about men being survivors, but there are male survivors. And they have to do the same chest exam that women have to do in order to catch breast cancer.
Yeah. And when I do know someone, to Heidi's point, when she spoke about Angelina Jolie, about opting to have the other one removed, I do know someone who did that. It was discovered in one breast, but they said take both, because they didn't want to have that fear of it coming back and having to go through that anxiety, that all of those things that are associated with that again. So they said if there's a chance that it could come back, just take the other one. And I think what's happening with women, we're becoming more concerned, well, the older women are concerned more with their life and the quality of it instead of having two breasts. Or, because the vanity part, because the truth be told, you could have two breasts but be gone. How does that affect us, if you're dead? So if it's going to save your life and the doctor agrees with it and they think that it's a good idea and you're comfortable with it, I agree. I say to remove them both if that's what makes you comfortable and give you a sense of peace.
It's so funny that you brought that up, Shay, because I was just sitting here thinking about, and, I put it out there, I'm in my early 40s. I just hit that. So I was sitting here thinking about the fact that for many years when we would watch TV or we watch shows or anything in the media, people make a big deal about breasts, whether you have them or not. It's this huge thing where, you know, if you don't have enough, get some. And if you do have too much, you know, shrink them down. And I mean, it's just, I think we have really taken this to a whole new level. And a part of that I put on, you know, men, whether there's women and men in this world, but men have a lot of influence on society. And I've noticed that a lot of the shows and things that I see is all about that, how men feel about breasts. So it's just, I just wanted to bring up the fact that I think it's interesting how now women are just saying, damn that, I want to be healthy, comfortable, and if it means taking them, take them. You know what I'm saying?
Right, take me as I am, with or without, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to cuss on radio, FCC, but anyway, the point I'm making is, yeah. I just had to put that out for a lighter side. You know, breasts have always seemed to be a huge topic of, you know, conversation when it comes to women.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have to take another break, but we're going to come back in just a few moments, and we're going to finish talking briefly about October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Examine yourself. Take a friend, tell a friend. But stay with us in the Ladies of a Queen's Eye View, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Carrot Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24 karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
Hello, this is Roy Evans inviting you to join me at the Atlanta Black Business Networking Mixer. This is your chance to boost your business, give back to the community, share your expertise, and be enlightened by others. Come relax and enjoy light refreshments and good conversation with fellow and future entrepreneurs. Also, meet the group administrators and hear firsthand the plans of the future of the network. Sign up to be a part of the database and to be a premier member. Join us at the TGI Fridays at Stonecrest on Monday, October 20th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The cost is $12 and covers refreshments. As an added bonus, we'll be giving away 3 free months of advertising to one lucky business. But you have to be there and register to qualify. So we'll see you on Monday, October 20th at 6 p.m. at the TGI Fridays at Stonecrest for the Atlanta Black Business Networking Mixer. For more information and tickets, find us on Facebook under Atlanta Black Business Network.
Oh, this has been a day I want to forget. From not finding my keys, to running late for my big meeting, then having the client cancel the meeting, to my boss wanting to revamp the entire proposal this weekend. This is really a day for a hot tub and a big glass of my Tranquility wine.
The skilled winemakers of Countryside Vineyards craft quality muscadine grapes into fine wine. Known for their distinctive flavors and characters, these hybrid southern grapes create a sweet class of robust wine. So the next time you're out, ask for Tranquility Wines or order yours online today by visiting them at floridavineyard.com.
Now this is just what I needed. Tranquility Wine. Why can't everything be this relaxing?
Tranquility Wines, for those times when nothing else matters. Please enjoy responsibly and remember, you must be 21 years old to drink.
Stokes and Matthews Media is a boutique media company that specializes in vision coaching, publishing, and marketing for authors, experts, and small business owners. It is the mission of Nadia Matthews and Nicole Stokes to show aspiring writers and seasoned authors how to build lucrative brands using their books as the foundation. Before the company's official launch in September 2014, Stokes and Matthews Media will be offering free online workshops and interviews with industry experts, ebooks, and discounted first-time consultations for individuals who desire to get on the company's 2014-2015 roster. Stokes and Matthews Media is also scouting experienced individuals in the literary publishing, PR, marketing, promotions, and event planning industries to join the team on a freelance and/or internship basis. If you would like to learn more about Stokes and Matthews Media or learn how you can advertise with us, please send a detailed email to info@stokesandmatthewsmedia.com or visit www.stokesandmatthewsmedia.com. Stokes and Matthews Media, where your project is our passion.
Now, and welcome back to this week's edition of A Clean View. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. And we're having a great conversation this evening. We're talking about breast cancer awareness, prostate cancer awareness, just awareness overall about cancer and the importance of it. And you like to ladies out there and what we're talking about, this is definite information that needs to be put out there, and we need to be reminded. You guys agree? Yeah. Definitely, again, as I say, awareness is the key. This is the awareness, and we have to heighten that awareness. And it takes a village to raise children, but also takes a village to get that information and that knowledge out there. And again, we thank you, Larry, for calling in early and sharing your story. And we encourage you all to others that have got a call in. It's 678-701-3738. That's 678-701-3738. Oh, that's it. I told you we're back. I think we may have had some technical difficulties. And if we did, we'll apologize for that. That's part of the way it's fine. So we have the boots and the blenders, but we thank you for coming back with us. The ladies have a clean debut and safe. And happy.
I never meant to treat my baby that way. I apologize. Believe me. Oh, believe me, I do. I apologize. I'm honest and true, because I know I was wrong. And so I sing you this song that I'm trying to get through and make it up to you. Yes, operator, it was like a bad dream. The Lord, you should have heard the way He shouted and the way that I screamed. Oh, I regret it, 'cause I was unfair. I took it all out on Him, just because He was there. When the road gets rough, you say things you should not say. I never meant to treat my daddy that way. I apologize. Believe me. Oh, believe me, I do. I apologize. I'm honest and true, because I knew I was wrong. So I sing you this song, and I'm gonna get through, yeah, and make it up to you. I apologize, for I was unkind, and I wish that I could roll back in time, erase the goodbye, and rewrite my life. But come rain or come shine, I wanna do it right this time. I apologize. Oh, baby, I do, because I know I was wrong. And so I sing you my song, yeah, yes. I apologize, yes. I apologize, oh yes, because I know I was wrong. And so
Okay, hello. You're tuned in to A Queen's Eye View. Do we have the ladies online? You give us a moment. I think we're having some slight difficulties, and we'll be right back with the show in just a moment.
listen to me right now. Singing it to you right now. Was wrong. Believe to best father. Said, better.
Honey, what are we going to do with all these bills? It doesn't make any sense. We make more than enough money to cover everything, but we're still in a hole.
Let's check out Madam Money.
Madam Money? Who is that?
She is a financial expert who helps people like us set and reach our financial goals.
This is great. With her help, we can do all the things that we talked about.
That's right. Now we can take that vacation we've always wanted and not feel stressed. Hi, this is Tara Jackson, also known as Madam Money, and I can help you clear up all of your financial dis-eases and those pesky financial STDs.
See, this is why I love you.
Yes, I know.
So check out Madam Money online at tarajackson.com. TARRA Jackson.com.
Lisa, you've been staring at that computer screen for 30 minutes. What's wrong?
Oh, it's my new marketing campaign. I want to tell people how great my business is, but I don't know what to say. I need copy for the website, newsletters, and brochure, and I'm drawing a blank. Writing just isn't my thing.
My boss had the same problem, and he called Put It in Writing Professional Writing Service.
Put it in writing? What's that?
It's a business just for people who need copywriting, but don't have the budget for the big marketing and PR firms. They help my company.
This line is now off hold.
You ladies there? Hello? Hello?
Tell everyone about the great products and services we offer through our website. And when my cousin recorded his CD, Put It in Writing wrote his bio and press release. They even do resumes.
That's good to know, because I'll be looking for a job if this business doesn't take off.
Don't worry. Call the professionals at Put It in Writing at 901-359-6629 and check out the website at putitinwriting2.com. That's putitinwriting2.com.
Are you in need of a dessert for a special event? Maybe a custom birthday cake. I know, it's your wedding day and you want a cake that will stimulate your taste buds and capture and create the memories for that special day. Well, Sweet Destination should be your choice. Let Master Sweet Designer Montevia Gamble create a unique and delicious cake for your special occasion. But that's not all. Sweet Destination also creates other desserts, from cheesecakes, homemade fudge, brownies, cookies, pies, cake pops, cupcakes, and just about anything that you can think of. So check them out at sweetdestinations.com or on Facebook under Sweet Destinations. Remember, the greatest conversations take place on the road to the sweetest destinations of the human mind. So let's do more than business. Let's make memorable moments. We are Sweet Destinations.
This line is now off hold.
Happiness. Betrayed me, inside I'm dying, so I called my mother to comfort me. She said, I know the pain seems like it just won't die, but son, I told you, you'll be the only give him one try.
Okay, we are back with the Queen's Eye View. Shay, are you there?
I'm here.
Shay?
I'm here. You sound staticky now.
Okay, we're live. I'm good. I'm going on.
Hi, welcome back to A Queen's Eye View. We apologize. There were some technical difficulties. And as you know, anytime there's something live and with technology, when it's great, it's great. But we apologize, and we thank you for staying with us on A Queen's Eye View. We truly apologize for that technical blunder, if you will. But we want to continue with our show, and we were talking before we went to break. We had a couple of callers that I believe that got disconnected, and we asked that you guys call back in. It's 678-701-3738. It's 678-701-3738. And Alicia, I think you wanted to make a brief point when we came back in reference to the walk for the prostate cancer. You wanted to say something? I believe she posted it on our Facebook page as well, but the date for the prostate walk. But we'll have her come and talk about that in a little bit. Alicia, are you there?
I'm here now.
Alicia, yes, we're back on the air, and I just apologize to everyone. But I know you wanted to make a point in reference to the prostate walk.
Oh, yes, the prostate walk is Men Walk for a Cure. It is Saturday, November 22nd at 8 p.m. Doors open at 7. It's at HJC Bowden Center, and that's at 2885 Church Street, East Point, Georgia, 30344.
Okay, hang on. We have a caller. I hate to cut you off, Alicia. Hi, caller. Are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you this evening?
Doing well. How are you?
I am doing wonderful.
Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
You're speaking with the Janasha Cotton Sharp from the Sisters House in Fayetteville, Georgia.
Yes.
Yes, I was just calling in to actually, I know that there was some technical difficulties in the beginning, so I was kind of going in and out because I was on someone else's line. So I really didn't get the gist of what everyone was actually talking about with the breast cancer and the forgiveness. So is it okay if I'm just on the line and I'm able to listen and then I could come in? Because I just don't want to go straight in with just hearing the last of it. Hello?
Right, if I heard you, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yes, I just say yes, so we can just keep talking. At least we have a caller.
What happens is you said that you couldn't hear us earlier. Yeah, earlier we apologize. We had some technical difficulties, but we were just talking about breast cancer, and we just had given some facts about it, and we were just discussing if we knew if anyone who have had that, in the past, and how did they deal with it and how did they handle it. Do you know of anyone who has suffered with breast cancer, any survivors, or have any friends or family?
Yeah. Well, let me first tell you, when I did call in, I told you that I did not tell you who I was, other than Gigi from the Sisters House. Well, that's what they call me, Gigi. My name is Janasha Cotton Sharp, and I'm the co-founder of Sisters House, not my Sisters House. But Sisters House is a house filled with serenity, creativity, and empowerment. So we empower different women in all aspects of their lives, whether they are breast cancer thrivers, we use the word thrivers, whether they're domestic violence thrivers. So there are a lot of sisters that are part of my organizations, like Leslie D. Poet. I don't know if you're aware of her. She's an author as well as a poet. And she is an 8-year breast cancer thriver. One of the reasons that we do use the word thrivers because in our walks in life, we have been a victim of these illnesses, and then we survived it, and now we're thriving each and every day. So we kind of be very careful in what we say. But yes, ma'am, and I also had a sister who actually passed away. It was 2 years this past January of breast cancer. So I am very, very, yeah. Well, it was, and I appreciate that. Like I said, we look at the good that comes out of a bad situation, and we celebrate life. As my sister Leslie the Poet, who is an 8-year thriver, she celebrated 8 years at my facility, Sisters House, in Fayetteville, Georgia, and it's just been a blessing. It's been a blessing interacting with different sisters. We also have another sister that is very, very active in a lot of activities that we do at the Sisters House. Her name is Sherelle Dowd. And we love that sister. Her cancer has just come back. And we just want to say to God be the glory that she's in a place in her life where she knew that the cancer that she had, that was breast cancer, she knew that there's a possibility of what she was going through, that it might come back. And it did come back, and it has now spread it to the bones. So, yeah, every day is...
And that's why it's good to have a support like you and the Sisters House and the other ladies that are there and part of your organization, because when these debilitating diseases and things come upon us, that's key. Because, like I said, my sister is also a thriver. / survivor, and support is key in anything. And I just take my hats off to you and the Sisters House and the other ladies of your organization that encourage her and keep her encouraged. Because some things we have no control over, but we definitely have control over how and when we relate to people, you know?
You're absolutely right. And yes, I believe that.
And it's funny because when we talked about this topic for today, and breast cancer and forgiveness, you know, we kind of tied it together, because forgiveness is not just forgiving another person. You know, it's ultimately a forgiving ourselves. And, you know, I'm sure I haven't, to God be the glory, had to deal with cancer or that type of illness, but I'm certain in working and talking with my sister that they had to forgive some things in order for them to heal. You know, because when you become sick, you can't take on additional stress. You can't deal with other things that are outside of what you're dealing with currently. So you have to forgive. Because
and you know what?
I believe, in my opinion, go ahead, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. I also do at the Sisters House on every second and fourth Wednesday of the morning at 10:30. We do a Women of Wisdom. And today was actually talking about some of the things that hinders us from our passion and our purpose, our destiny in our lives, and the number one was forgiveness. And I can see why you tied in that word forgiveness, even with someone going through what they're going through, doing an illness in their lives, because if they're not spiritually grounded, some of them, and then some of them are spiritually grounded, and I always say the flesh is a mess. Because the flesh will do anything and say and feel a certain way. But you can be a believer and still doubt when sickness becomes up, you know, when it falls up on you, and that unforgiveness that you have is like, oh Lord, why me? Why am I the one that have to go through this? So I totally understand.
And you know what? I was talking today to someone, and I said, you know, I'm not exempt from anything. You know, I said, I may not be exempt, but I am equipped. And you said something that was key. We have to have faith, and we have to believe that. And it's hard to have faith when we are in that struggle, when we are weak, but we have to find strength in our weakness. So when we were talking about this topic for tonight, I just felt that, you know, in order to heal, in order to be healthy, because heal is part of the word healthy, we have to let go of some things. You know, and forgiveness runs a gamut of so many things, especially tied with our health, because I'm a believer that stress feeds sickness. You know, depression feeds sickness. So
Absolutely.
With the Sisters House and other organizations, and I definitely like to get some more information from you that we can share on a Queen's Eye View, so that we can help continue to empower and educate and uplift our women. You know, because if we don't forgive ourselves, and sometimes we have to forgive ourselves. Most times, we have to forgive ourselves.
You're
because
absolutely
sometimes they're going
right.
on about their business. They don't think anything more about us.
And you're absolutely
You know?
right. It's something that I speak with the ladies about, whether they're going through an illness or if it's not even a physical illness, it could be something mental that they're going to, emotional or whatnot. One of the things that, because we do have different speakers that come in and speak on different topics, and we have different events. But one of the things that's key that I like to tell the ladies is that they do have to start with self. Because if we began to release some of that unforgiveness that we have in certain situations, and we'll move, it will make us feel so much better. Like you said, it hinders us. It hinders what God has for us. It can hinder the sickness, hinder our destiny, our purpose, that word, unforgiveness. So forgiveness plays a big part, because I'm going to share this with you about my sister who actually passed away 2 years ago. Now, I am the baby out of 13 children. My mother was married the first time and had 6 children from her first husband. My father was married the first time and had 6 children from his first wife. Now, when my father and mother, they had me, so I'm the baby out of 13. Now, mind you, that's a huge family, so I'm the baby, spoiled, getting everything I want. Now, mind you, now we have the sister that my father had with his first wife, which we don't call step half or anything. We all grew up together. We all had fun together. We all traveled together. All 4 parents, a family. And I say all 4 parents, and the reason why I say all 4 parents made it happen, because you have my mom, you had my dad, you had my dad's ex-wife, and then you had my dad, then you had my mother's ex-husband. So everyone, again, even though they were not together, they were together for the children. Now, one of my sisters, that my dad had from his marriage, the one who had cancer, she's a twin. Well, she actually, maybe a year before she got ready, that the cancer, she had been struggling with it for years. It comes back. She does chemo and goes away, whatever. But mind you, what happened was she began to hold a lot in of resentment. And we lost track as we got older, so I wanted to see her again. And when she met with me, she was like, "Why do you want to meet me again?" And I said, "Okay, Lord, I'm going to pass it off on, she's going through some sickness in her body and things like that." Well, she was the rudest somebody that I have ever met in my house when I laid out a red carpet for my sister. Now, I learned from the best, my mom and my dad, about forgiveness, okay? And I choose to live that type of life. Now, I say that my sister went to her grave with unforgiveness in her heart for me because we never made amends. I mean, she's never made amends with me because my last words to her was that there's some family secret lies that have been swept underneath the rug, and you're resentful towards me, and because you have that, you're going, the sickness in your body that's going on, it's not making it any better. So you hear her on the unforgiveness because I'm truly believing that if she forgave me as well as other people, she might have been able to live a longer life. God can work some miracles.
Yes, he can. And let me just hold on a second. Let me just interrupt you, Gigi. Does someone have the radio on in the background because we're hearing an echo? I'm sorry. Let me just interrupt you a second. Someone has the radio on, so here's some feedback. But yeah, Gigi, and to what you just said to that point, that was definitely part of one of our segments was forgiveness and how it pertains to the family. Because one of the questions I had was, what causes separation in our family? Is it secrets? Is it trust? Is it betrayal? Is it miscommunication? Or is it lies? And
secrets and lies. It's generational curses.
To what you were saying. So whereas your sister, had she been able to let that go and to forgive, then maybe, like you said, maybe her days would have been longer. And if not longer, maybe she would have just had that peace.
That's right. But I did ask her
left
twin.
You with some peace.
I did ask, but you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. It left me some peace knowing that I am who I am. It left me some peace because I don't hold grudges. I have nothing to hold. Like I told her, the secrets, the family lies and secrets and generational curses that have been swept underneath the rug, the one you need to confront would be our Father. Because now God did allow me to understand and reveal that some of her resentment towards me is because she didn't grow up with a father in her home, per se, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So I hit that on the nail, even though she never gave me an answer, but that's the revelation that I got with God. But I told her, even though, and my husband said, I can't believe this. I've never met you before until today. He says, my wife has bent over backwards to do this for her sister, try to find out what type of wine your sister likes, what type of things she likes. We laid it out. We fixed your favorite dinner. We did everything for you. And the first thing you come up in this house, you walked in with an attitude. He says, I feel for you because you have a sickness in your body and you're going through some things, but let the truth be told. And he looked at my dad and he says, Dad, I love you. He says, but there's some unfinished business that's going on. And if she continues to hold on to unforgiveness, your sickness in your body, and it's fun. It's just funny that you would have this show concerning the forgiveness. It was not funny, but I'm telling you, it's just right on point.
I know what you mean. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's right on point because I can relate to that, and I've always been a believer that the negativity in your life, unforgiveness, the selfishness, the envy, the self-centered, the things of that nature, it hinders you in all areas of your life.
Yes, but let me ask you something. Dee.
Sure.
Since she has passed on, right, and she can't do anything for you at this point, are you able to go into yourself and not only forgive her, you know, for whatever she did or did not say, and maybe be able to look past whatever was blocking her and understand that her problem was not with you or the other siblings. Her problem was within herself.
Within herself, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because when I did not talk to her, you're right, because when I didn't talk to her when she left here, the only thing I could tell her was, guess what, my sister, I love you anyways. And she said she didn't need my love. But it did not matter because the peace dwelled within inside of me because I made my peace. I have forgiven her. Yes, I'm here. Are you there? Hello?
Did anybody else hear Gigi go off?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, are you there?
Yes.
Hello?
We're here.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Gigi here.
Shay.
Hello? Hey, this is Gigi.
Alicia?
Hello, can you hear me? This is Gigi.
Yes, we can hear you, Gigi.
Gigi, we can hear you. Okay. But yes, I did say that I have forgiven her, and I did ask her twin, which is my brother, because we're real close. I did ask him, did he feel like she had made peace with her maker on a lot of things that she was going through in her life? And he told me that he believed so. Hello.
We're here. Can you hear us?
Okay.
And I agree with you on the healing in your body and the anger that you carry when you don't forgive someone, because really what you carry is an anger, you know, within yourself, or an insecurity that causes an anger. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I believe that's why some people they heal faster than others. You know, right. It's all in where you are, if you're a Christian, that is. It's all in where you are with the Father and your relationship and understanding what forgiveness really is. And how to walk in that forgiveness and loving people regardless of what they've done or what they've said. You know, it's a struggle sometimes, and sometimes it rises up. But you have to get to a point where, okay, I gave it 5 minutes. I'm going to be upset for about 5 minutes. And then, okay, Lord, wash this away from me. Every now and then it may come up because some things never go away, especially when you have to deal with the person and they're doing the same thing. It's a repeated action. You have to really ask how to walk in a situation where this person does not cause you to go outside of who God said you are.
Right.
So, yeah.
Here.
So what do y'all think about, I have a question. So what do y'all think about the cliche, I can forgive, but I'll never forget?
I think that's very accurate. Because if you think about that comment, you know, I funny enough, I had that conversation. Well, I'm going to have that conversation with someone. I believe that we can forgive the action, but we'll never forget the feeling.
Nope.
You know?
Okay.
We can forgive the action to a point, but we'll never forget how it made us feel. And then sometimes in that, you're not able to move forward, even if you try. Because whereas I may forgive you, I haven't forgotten how you made me feel. And that feeling I don't want to ever experience again. And if you are someone whom I love and I trust, and you betrayed that trust for whatever reason, whether it be a secret, a miscommunication, or lie, or whatever, I can forgive you because, you know, if we do like we say we do, we have to all be forgiven for something because we've all done something wrong.
Right.
And we want somebody to forgive us for what we've done. And there are some people still holding grudges against us, possibly. But I believe you forgive them. You may not forget it, but you have to make that decision at that point. If I don't forget it, I need to move on. You cannot stay in a situation and continue to penalize them for it. You follow me?
But if you're still holding on to the feelings, have you really forgiven? Because if you're holding on to how I don't want to feel this way, because when you find peace with something, it no longer affects you. And even though you know, and it's not the feeling, it's the act. So when you get out of your feelings because of our natural nature, you take away the feeling. I can remember the act of what that person has done. And that may stay in my mind, the act of what they've done, not how it made me feel, but just knowing what they're capable of. Now that I know what you're capable of, I may be a little guarded on what I do or what I give to you.
How I felt. I'm not holding on to that. I'm just remembering how I felt, how what you did made me feel. So I forgive you, and this is just my opinion, she asked, and that's how I feel. I respect where you're coming from, but I believe we're somewhat saying the same thing. I'm just not going to forget how I felt.
Well, ladies, this is Gigi. Can I chime in on something? This is Gigi. I totally agree that you can forgive, and there is a period when you have really forgiven that sometimes truly, and I've been in this situation, that you do forget. However, there might be something that might trigger that forgetting to come back up. It might be an act of someone doing something else to you to realize, wow, you know, I'm just going to use the word Marsha, like, God, I remember that time when Marsha, I forgave her for, but I can't believe, you know, you did not really forget it. But sometimes you can put things underneath, and it is okay it is most definitely okay for you not to forget, because even the Word of God says that you are to forgive, but it is good to forget. It is good. So it's not telling you that you have to. So, I mean, because you won't. I mean, your flesh. The flesh is the flesh has, you're going to. There's some things that you cannot do. Now, for us to forgive is on the spiritual side, okay? The fleshly part of us, we might forget for that moment. You know, we might forget for that moment, but it might be something that triggers us back to thinking about that time that Marsha did whatever she did to us.
Yes, will bring us back to remember.
And that's really,
but let me give you an example. Really
and that's what I wanted to really get at, was because the thing about it is that sometimes when you forgive people, that hurt and that feeling has to be gone. And I was going to go there next, and that's why I'm glad you brought that up, Gigi, with the scripture, because that's where I was going. Because it's good, but it's good for who? It's good for you. That's why I say it's good. You don't have, it's good for you to forget. And that's why I went toward the feelings, because we're emotional creatures, because we are human, and we stay in our emotions because of this flesh. And that's why I was going to try to make the comparisons between the memory of, but not the feeling of.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why there's a reason why.
Okay, so I was in an abusive relationship. I have forgiven him, but I have never forgotten what I felt.
No.
Okay, so in that respect, I speak from that place in me where, yes, I forgive because I'm past that. You know, I'm past the part of thinking about seeing him and running him over with a car, or committed some crime that would wind me up in jail. So I forgive that. I don't want to do that anymore. But I will never forget what I felt.
Right.
And nobody can ever tell me I should forget. So I would say, to answer to your question, Dawn, I'll go back and say it would depend on the situation. And it would depend on the person.
It was a reason why I asked that question, Shay, and I'm glad that you guys gave me your opinions of that cliche. I will forgive, but I never forget, because I always wonder, do I really forgive people? Because I think that I am forgiving, but I always wondered because I don't. I'm very emotional. I'm an emotional girl. Right. And most of my thoughts, I mean, I have to, it may not be a good thing, but most of my thoughts and my actions are emotionally driven.
Right.
And so I always wonder if because if someone does me a certain kind of way, and I say that I forgave them, but I know that I didn't forget what they did, I know, and I just have to be honest that I'm going to treat them differently. I'm going to treat them differently. That's just what it is. I'm going to end up treating them differently. I may back away. I may just not want to deal with them at all. It depends on, like you said, Shay, it depends on the severity of the situation. I may not want them to be a part of my life anymore at all. So then I say, well, Dawn, you don't want that person to be a part of your life anymore. So did you really forgive them because you have decided to not deal with them anymore? Have you really forgiven them?
I would say yes, you have, because you have a right to make a choice. See, that's the thing, and I think some people get mixed up in it. See, if you forgive somebody, you have a right to decide if you want to be around that person or not, again, depending on what they did. And we have to stop and take a look at ourselves and say, okay, was it that serious? You know, what was my role in it? You know, how did I contribute? But if it's something that's totally out the realm of what you did, the scope of things, for my case, an abusive relationship, that was out of my realm. That was of him. So I think that you should not forget certain things because it helps you not to repeat those things again. Because it may be something you're sending out. It may be something you're giving off. So it gives you an opportunity to look at yourself. Now, if there's something that you can correct or fix, yes. But don't be so quick and emotional because you said you are and you recognize that about yourself. So sometimes you have to draw back and say, okay, is this Dawn Michelle, you know, just being emotional, or is this truly something that I can't deal with?
Right, and I do have to sometimes ask myself that question because I know that I'm emotional. Sometimes I do have to say, okay, Dawn, you tripping, you being too emotional, stop. Like, I have to have a conversation with myself and just be like, okay, you need to stop. You know, and I just, because I do want to be better at, you know, just because I feel like we're all works in progress. And, you know, when you know that there are things about yourself that you need to improve or whatever, it's just, like I said, I've always wondered that because I see how when someone hurts me or if I have a certain type of situation, it could be something minor, but because it's minor and what I always do is I say, note to self. And when I do note to self, that means I'm putting it in my mental Rolodex. And it may cause me to deal with you a little bit differently than I did before. And I feel like that's me protecting myself. But like I said, I always question and wonder, well, Dawn, if you're really forgiving, should you treat that person differently?
Dawn, this is Heidi. Let me just say this, and I just want to put my 2 cents in from a therapeutic perspective. From a therapeutic perspective, no one individual processes the same. No one individual handles trauma or traumatic or sensitive issues the same. So I'm not expecting any one of you ladies to forgive in the same manner. What I am expecting is that you somehow process at some point how forgiveness is going to work for you. And I think that as women, we tend to forget that. We're not the same. We're all individuals. We don't do things the same. And that's why in my therapeutic practice, we don't give the same techniques for breakthroughs for every situation because it doesn't work. Each person has a different scenario. So I'm just going to say that all you ladies can process it. All the things you said were actually correct. It's just what works for that person and how you work through your process. As long as you own it and you work through it, then at some point you make a breakthrough and forgiveness will come.
Okay.
I agree. Like I said, and we agreed about forgiveness is just about the forgetting part. But I agree. That's why I would say, in my opinion, and we all have different ways of handling it, and it's based on the situations. You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Gigi, thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. You can take us a break. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Gigi, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate your thoughts. And we, ladies of Queens Eye View, we are going to take a short break right here. Gigi, thank you so much for calling in, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Carrot Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24-karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
Hello, this is Roy Evans inviting you to join me at the Atlanta Black Business Networking Mixer. This is your chance to boost your business, give back to the community, share your expertise, and be enlightened by others. Come relax and enjoy light refreshments and good conversation with fellow and future entrepreneurs. Also, meet the group administrators and hear firsthand the plans of the future of the network. Sign up to be a part of the database and to be a premier member. Join us at the TGI Fridays at Stonecrest on Monday, October 20th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The cost is $12 and covers refreshments. As an added bonus, we'll be giving away 3 free months of advertising to one lucky business. But you have to be there and register to qualify. So we'll see you on Monday, October 20th at 6 p.m. at the TGI Fridays at Stonecrest for the Atlanta Black Business Networking Mixer. For more information and tickets, find us on Facebook under Atlanta Black Business Network.
Oh, this has been a day I want to forget. From not finding my keys, to running late for my big meeting, then having the client cancel the meeting, to my boss wanting to revamp the entire proposal this weekend. This is really a day for a hot tub and a big glass of my Tranquility wine.
The skilled winemakers of Countryside Vineyards craft quality muscadine grapes into fine wine. Known for their distinctive flavors and characters, these hybrid southern grapes create a sweet class of robust wine. So the next time you're out, ask for Tranquility Wines or order yours online today by visiting them at floridavineyard.com.
Now this is just what I needed. Tranquility Wine. Why can't everything be this relaxing?
Tranquility Wines, for those times when nothing else matters. Please enjoy responsibly and remember, you must be 21 years old to drink.
Hi, welcome back to A Queen's Eye View. I'm Shay.
I'm Heidi. This is Donna Michelle.
And I'm Alicia Coleman.
And we're the ladies of A Queen's Eye View. We want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening to our show where we're talking about October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're also talking about forgiveness, the power to forgive.
Is it for the God of your understanding, or is it for us to forgive? And I want to thank tonight for our callers for calling in, Larry Love and Miss Gigi for calling in during that last segment. She had some powerful information and sharing her story, and I remain encouraged, and I'd like her to share her information with us so we can post it on our Facebook page about Sister's House. But we do thank you guys for calling in and sharing with us. Before we go further, too, we're going to have someone calling in shortly, but Heidi, are you ready to go in to talk a little bit about your part where we're going to talk about forgiveness and as it pertains to the sports and entertainment industry?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to make just a quick note. We've been out for a little while, and since we've been out, we've had several high-profile media cases in the news concerning athletes. Specifically, in my world of child abuse, my office has gotten I don't know how many calls for statements and interviews from CNN and folks who want to know our positions, concerning Adrian Peterson spanking his child, for the Ray Rice incident, for him knocking his, at that time, soon-to-be wife or wife out in the elevator, for other domestic incidences that have come up. It's just like a hot topic right now, and it's hot. But, topics are interesting. They get hot and then they cool off. But what I found interesting, and the only reason I wanted to bring this up is because I'm looking at the social media commentary from everybody. And it's interesting that half you got a faction that takes a position, string them up and hang them and throw them under the jail and throw away the key, and then you got another half that says that these people were provoked, and then you got another half that says, my mama beat me, so what's the problem? This is the way I grew up. And, all of that is heightened emotions, but a lot of people don't know how to, they are addressing they're talking about the issues, but they're not addressing the underlying emotional piece and that whole forgiveness piece. So I just wanted to put it out there for the ladies tonight to see what your thoughts were, since violence with celebrities and folks who are, have some kind of a status is really on blast right now, on top of the fact of our other emotional stuff we got going on with police, so-called police neglect, abuse cases, and so forth.
Right. I'll just say to the point of disciplining our children, I guess my point of contention is this: if I discipline my child, I'm wrong. But if you shoot and kill my child, you're within your rights. So if I try to discipline my child before he gets to you, to that point where you feel you have to use that type of force, I don't understand. I guess I'm at a loss at that point. I mean, I understand there's extreme abuse or beating of your child and really hurting them, but how more extreme could it be than killing them?
Okay, we have a guest on the line. Guys. Shay?
I'm here.
Is there a guest? Is our guest on the line?
Yes, this is Jamani. How is everybody doing?
Hi, Jamani. How are you?
Hey, Jamani. How are you?
I am doing well. How is everybody doing?
Good. Glad to have you on. Here. So what's going on? What you got to say, brother?
Well, I mean, breast cancer awareness, and I've been tuning in and listening to you ladies tonight. But I actually own Atlanta's first and only cancer exercise studio in Atlanta and Vining. So I want to kind of call and chime in, and let it be known that I do have a location where I actually specialize in training individuals with over 25 different types of cancer. I just don't focus on breast cancer and that note, but since it is breast cancer awareness, I wanted to kind of come in, chime in and talk about that. So.
Absolutely. So what kind of exercises do you do? What's the name of your studio?
It's Uflex Fitness, and I'm in the Vining area near Cumberland Mall. Now, as far as the exercises, some of the exercises are the same that you would do, that anybody would do, but the whole idea about training someone with cancer is the actual rehab process. So depending on what type of cancer they've had, then it would determine what kind of regimen I want to put them on. Also,
Jemima, you're a little bit muffled, so I want to make sure everybody can understand everything that you're saying, because you're saying some really good stuff, but you're a little bit muffled right now.
okay, I'm on my headset. How's it now? Can everybody hear me?
Okay, that's better. You're not as muffled. Your tone is not as muffled. Yeah, so it's better
Okay.
it's easier to understand you. Yeah. So go ahead. Uflex, Vinings area.
Yes, Uflex Fitness in the Vinings area, and I basically help cancer patients, whether it's pre-treatment, existing treatment, and post-treatment to help them recover and get back to their normal lives. Now, as far as exercise, I mentioned exercises. Some of the exercises are really going to be corrective exercises to help them, attain their original posture back. Because, as you know, if you've had a mastectomy, then you've been cut on, you have a lot of scar tissue built up, and so you may have issues with opening your chest up. And so a lot of the exercise regimen would be to help to regain that range of motion, if you will. So I use what's called a goniometer, and I measure ranges of motion based on, the baseline that once the client starts with me, we measure a baseline there, and then obviously try to get them back to their full range of motion for the particular muscle group. Now, a lot of times people just kind of say, well, what's different with the whole cancer thing? Well, a lot of times people don't think about the other aspect, the mind, body, and the soul. Someone who's had any type of cancer, it's a big emotional shock to them. So when I actually chose my location, I actually chose an office building on the 5th floor in which my studio overlooks the city. You can see downtown Buckhead, perimeter, and just the view alone, gets that client thinking about, positive. It's just like having that view on vacation where you just kind of forget about all your problems. And that's kind of
because it's a beautiful view.
Right. And that's that's one of the aspects I want to take into consideration, because you want to get their spirits up. You don't want them thinking about, and that's one of the things too with having someone, in that particular environment. Because, if somebody has had cancer, they've gone through treatment at the hospital, they've gone through all their checkups at the hospital. The last place that they want to go try to probably train is at a location at a hospital, because that's going to bring back all the bad memories of all the the chemos and the radiation and so forth. So I was very particular in choosing a location. Also, you have to think about cleanliness. It's not good, especially for someone who's going through treatment, especially the chemo, because the chemo is going to break down their immune system. So they don't need to be in a big box gym, exchanging sweat and germs with the general public, because they're already at risk. So, with my studio, it's one-on-one. It's always clean, because I'm the only one that's there outside of my other clients. And so I make sure, all of my equipment is wiped down and so forth. And so that was another aspect that I took into consideration before opening up the studio. And then, it just and then it allows them to be themselves, especially someone who's, having hair loss and having to, put the wigs on and try to cover up and hide from the general public. At my studio, they can come in and be themselves and not have to worry about any of the outside negative effects of people looking at them or, shunning them and so forth.
Let me ask
you. Do you use some kind of
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I understand the physical part of the exercise. Do you offer any type of mental exercises for them? I understand the physical part of getting their body back to where it used to be or where they need to be, possibly to go on with the next treatments that they have to endure after that first treatment. But do you do anything for their mental, or is there a place they can go, or do you recommend? How does that work?
Well, absolutely. One of the things I do is I do beginner yoga. So depending on the day that they've had, we may just, the session may be to meditate and look out into, well, first of all, the view, sit and meditate and talk about whatever they want to talk about. I've had, that's another aspect of training that comes along with it. You have to be a very special individual to be able to, tackle the ongoing different situations. I've had, times where clients come in and just break down crying in the middle of the session, confiding in me about, their husbands, leaving them as soon as they were diagnosed with cancer, and they had to, go through all the treatment with just their best friend. And so it's really, you really play a man of many hats in this particular field that I'm in. So yes, I do offer that, the mind, body, soul, the whole complete package, if you will. And
you know what, though, Jamani?
Yes.
You know what? I believe I just think that I would think that in the process of the physical training that you're doing with them, that they are actually getting mental therapy with the physical training and unconsciously, because you're allowing for them to focus on something different than their problems. You have something beautiful for them to look at. The question that I was going to ask, I didn't mean to step over Shay, but the question that I was going to ask was, did you use any kind of maybe music therapy to help? Because I just know, I guess as an artist and stuff, I just know that a lot of times when I'm in a place mentally, music really can help me through that. And when I'm doing something physical, my music pumps me up and gives me the motivation. Okay, I got one more, or I got, 2 more sets or whatever. So music, I was just wondering if there's any kind of musical therapy that you use for the physical and the mental counseling that you do.
Well, actually, that's a good question. Yes, I do, because I'm a big fan of music. I can't even go to the gym without my my headset or my music, my tunes, because music is a motivating factor. And yes, I have my iPad hooked up in the studio at all times, Bluetooth connected to my subwoofer. And so depending on the workout for that day, if they're feeling upbeat and feeling good, sometimes I throw on the Rocky to get them going. Or if it's a more of a meditation day, I have several different playlists of rain, weather sounds, and relaxing yoga type soundtracks, if you will, depending on the day. So yeah, music does play a role in that, and then especially if it's like raining outside and so forth, and we want to have like to help the client, emotionally, if you will.
Awesome. Wow. Okay.
Well, we thank you for that information. We appreciate you sharing with us. And again, we just understand that there's so many different parts to healing. There's so many different parts to cancer, as there are as many parts to healing as there are different types of cancers. And because of people like Mr. Palmer, and because of people like Gigi, and because of testimonies like Larry Love, it gives us a broader knowledge and an in-depth understanding, or as much as we can have, not having to go through this, either to live through it personally or actually witness it on a daily basis like Mr. Palmer may have to do. And I think that it's key that we have people that are in certain positions and in certain roles that can continue to encourage and build up everyone, male or female. And as we talked about today, we started out with our show being about breast cancer, and it took a turn to include our men to discuss prostate cancer. And I love that. I like the flow of it, that we can talk about, we may start out one way, but we finish another way. But at the end of the day, it's inclusive of everyone, and we agree that awareness is key. So we really thank you, and I appreciate you sharing the information with us.
Absolutely.
Money, please give us your information so that if somebody's trying to get in contact with you, they'll know how to get in contact with you if they want your services.
Okay, yeah, I can actually either be contacted on my website at uflexfitness.com, and that's the letter U, FLEX fitness.com. My office phone is area code 678-250-5348. Again, that's 678-250-5348. If anybody wants to come in and do a free consultation, they're welcome to it. I'm actually doing, I'm glad I called in, I'm actually doing a stretching for breast cancer campaign this month, where I'm doing full body 45-minute stretch sessions to help raise money and donate back to some of the cancer organizations in Atlanta. And so people can...
Awesome. That sounds like a great cause.
Uh-huh. And actually, one more thing. Awesome, yeah. And one last thing is, actually, CNN came in and did a segment on me in August. So as of this month, I am in every doctor office in the country. So if you've ever gone in and seen the the Accent Health Channel. I'll be playing in all those doctor offices this month and every throughout the country.
All right now. You better do it, Jemani. I'm so proud of you. That's what's up.
So yeah, well, thanks for having me, ladies.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah, so much. Awesome.
Well, ladies, we've about come to the end of our show this evening. But, just to recap, we just want to remind all women and men to do those monthly self-breast exams. They had an age at one point starting at 40, but as Dawn shared with us earlier, that something's changing. There's a shift, and obviously the doctors are seeing something where they're suggesting at 35, to possibly go and get checked. But we just say that, it's never too early to start checking. If you have a question, if you have family history, or any cause for concern, just go and get it checked. And I would just challenge the ladies on the line and those that are listening, encourage someone, remind someone this month to go and get their mammogram, because the life that you save may very well be your own. And I think that it's important to do that, to reach out and pull somebody and say, hey, let's go. So, Heidi, we're going to be pushing you and pulling you. Just know that, okay?
Absolutely. I got you, Shay.
I know where you are. I can find you, and we want to make sure. We're going to follow up on the next couple of shows and ask if you've had it. Just because it won't be October, we're still going to ask you.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad, you guys. It's not that. It's just my schedule's ridiculous, and I just haven't made the time to schedule. So that's on me. Work is not an excuse. I just need to get in there and get it done.
Right, work is not an excuse because work will go on with or without you, so we want it to go on with you. So that is key.
That's right. And your best health, yes. And men, if you are nervous about the prostate, you heard, I hope some of you heard Larry, you can start with the blood work. You can you can just start with the blood work. Just go a little pricky. You can get your blood work and you get the number, the levels for, what was it, the S? I forget what he said. It was something that he got. He said the numbers in your blood work that would tell you if you're in heightened for having any prostate problems. But guys, at least just start with that. Just start with that if you're nervous. I get it. It's an uncomfortable process, but at least start with the blood work, and then that way ask the question. You got to ask the question.
Right. And I'll just say this to everyone. Be the difference you want to see. Remember, in forgiveness, there's power, purpose, and in my opinion, there's peace. So forgive someone today that you may be holding on to something for far too long. You probably don't even remember why you're angry anymore. And if that's the case, just let it go. Because ultimately, forgiveness is not for them. It is for you. So I just challenge each and every one of you, even myself, as I struggle with a situation, to not only forgive, but to actually release that. I am not going to forget, because that's still my stance, but I am learning to forgive. That's my closeout. Ladies, you have anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Happy birthday to all the Libras. This is Dawn Michelle. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your week.
And tune in next week. We're doing a single life. Are you ready to give it up or turn it up? And we're going to have a special guest next week talking with us. So we ask that you guys tune in next week to A Queen's Eye View.
Absolutely.
Good night. Good night.